Hello, hello. Anybody? Tuesday night. Let's get to work. Let's do this. Listen, guys, I was thinking if I can show up 3 days a week consistently at the same time, every one of the 3 days, so can you. You have no excuse for not showing up for the work. I mean, it's okay to look at Maria. It's 1 a.m. where she's at, and she wants to do the work. For those that it's nighttime, it's completely fine to watch the videos on YouTube after. But what I want for the people who are doing the 60-day challenge in my group, I really want you to watch all the lives, because things happen to people in our group that are really pertinent to everyone else. We're all entangled energetically into the same purpose now, right? We have the 60-day challenge. We're affirming for one another. We're caught up in sort of the same energy of those affirmations, of those premises. Perhaps even we kept the same life and images, a few of the images I placed there. So now we're all entangled, right? So basically when things come up with a person in the group, it may be your subconscious trying to communicate with you an answer to something. So please be on these lives or watch them after. Okay, and consider probably every word that's being said is being said to you personally. I'm doing the 60-day, but I don't have space to add the circle infinity in my bio. All right, don't worry about it. That's just for us to identify one another. It's not a requirement. Oh, someone just sent me an email. She met someone, all the things you ever wanted, and it's incredible. Nice. While doing this challenge. Do you guys hear somebody else got engaged this weekend? I made a video about it, but I only left it on for a little bit because I don't want to leave those kind of videos on. It kind of doesn't go with my educational content. Let me find it. It's so I got engaged in July. It's a result of this work. I've been doing it. I've been explaining to you how I've done it. But now that I've gotten engaged, I know for a fact this sort of SP work is going to take with it a few people in the group, right? So I got this testimonial from a different queen, just saying this ring has been on her phone for like 25 different places, and she got engaged. She's part of our group, and she got engaged on Saturday, and I was just so excited for her. I'm like, it's gonna happen to more than one person. I know it, she knows it, but we all have to believe it, right? If you want marriage, keep doing the work, be very, very persistent with it. So I'm not surprised somebody else is emailing now saying she met someone that's everything she's ever wanted. So this is sort of going to happen. I broke up with my boyfriend 2 hours ago. That's probably not a bad thing. Sorry, I'm reading these comments, right? I'm not saying that. In case you're listening to this without context, I read the comments out loud. So this is from a queen. She's saying, I broke up with my boyfriend 2 hours ago. Breakups are very common in our group as well, because, like I explained in all my other lives, they have to do with the fact that those people that are status quo no longer align with the energy that you're putting out there. This group is becoming more and more powerful. I know it. I get testimonials as to how the shift feels inside each and every one of you. And I know for a fact, it's already very positive, but it's going to be exponential from here on out, because I think right now we have enough people to really project things out there. So we're doing what I titled the 60-day challenge. It's a 60-day challenge of manifesting in a group. It's available in my bio if you want to check it out. Read all the instructions before you commit to it. We also have a Facebook group. Please join the Facebook group for it's like $4 a month for the 2 months that you're going to stay doing this work, because you need to see other people's other people's manifestations, and also the manifestations of our weekly challenges. My email is mona.khad at yahoo.com, mona.khad at yahoo.com. And so I want to see if there's anything else, because I want to get to my stuff. Let's see. There is something in Maria, are you part of the Facebook group? If you haven't gotten any of the challenges, That is, it is a bit odd because everybody's gotten at least some of the challenges. Okay, and tomorrow we're having, who knows what we're having tomorrow? Let's see if anybody remembers. What's happening tomorrow, Wednesday, August 16th, for whoever wanted to participate. I put it on the Facebook group. What's happening? Vegan fast. Yeah. So we have a challenge for every Wednesday between now and the end of the month. So it's 3 Wednesdays left. We're having vegan tomorrow, and then the following Wednesday we're having juice liquid fast, and then the last Wednesday we're having just water fast. And I really believe this is going to improve or expedite our manifestation. We have about 50-60 people that have committed to doing the challenge. If you do it, please do it all 3 Wednesdays, not just one of them, because there's a meditation and affirmations I put in the Facebook challenge that we're doing for the group. The group meditation affirmation, we have to do it at the same time. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. I put it on Facebook. I'm scared for the water fast, says Meredith. I'm highly addicted to caffeine. So am I. I have like 3 coffees a day. Let's see what happens. I've never done a water fast before. But look, the idea behind this fast is, if you can't control your body, how can you control your mind? How can you dream of, even controlling part of your thoughts if you can't even control your body for one day? Right? Like one day. Don't tell your body it's going to be difficult. It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy for everybody. I'm kind of nervous too, but I don't think about it. I'm like, no, it's going to be easy. Just like when I go to my Pilates classes, like every time I try not to hate it. Every time I'm like, it's going to be easy for me. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into, we had a lot of emails even between yesterday when I did my last live and today. I was able to take 2 discussions on the SP from yesterday's live and make them as videos on my account. So check them out. They're important. One of them was about, somebody asked me if I was affirming for my SP every day. And the other one is about creating a man based on a list. And I just posted them. So they're already getting a lot of engagement. I guess a lot of people try to manifest a man with a list. Tomorrow vegan, next Wednesday just fruits and then water. No, tomorrow vegan, next Wednesday just liquids. Okay, nothing solid. And then the following Wednesday just water. So in the liquids day, but I'll put details as we get closer to the date. Let's see how we get through the vegan day, because most people are meat eaters, so am I. So let's see how we get through that. Okay, so I select some of the emails or messages I get or comments that are left on the videos and address them on this live if I find they are to the highest benefit of all. So somebody says, hi Mona, I love your videos and teachings. I need your perspective on something. I keep dreaming about the same person over and over again for over a year now. It does feel strange. The person in my dream is a guy, someone I know. We met through work end of 2021. In the early stages, we talked, met once a month, and then just became friends. Somewhere this year, I decided to cut communication with him, but I still see him in my dreams constantly. Why? So I want to talk about if there's a person that you see in your dream over and over, especially somebody you've had romantic interest with. So let's say this person has not hurt you or has not done anything wrong, right? So if it's a person who's hurt you, in the process of this work, it's normal to dream about them, right? Because your subconscious is struggling against the changes that you're making. So it will show you this person from your past that's hurt you, just to remind you, wait, this is who you are. You're now giving me different instructions. I'm not understanding what is happening, etc. Right? So this is not the case of the person who's asking the question. She's saying, like it's somebody, I thought maybe something could happen. It didn't happen. And now I keep dreaming about him. Why? So I want to tell you guys that when that happened, the guy hasn't done really anything wrong, but things just didn't progress. It's something that's been interrupted that was supposed to happen, right? So it's something that would have been significant for your development, either, your life path or spiritual development. And that's a person or someone of that energetic signature should have come into your life, right? And of course, every time we get something in our life, this is the power of free will. We can choose to reject it. We can choose to reject a bad thing. We can choose to reject a good thing. We get to choose everything, right? The free will, the choice is ours. But when your subconscious mind keeps dreaming about someone over and over that you kind of almost should have gotten to know, for sure you should have gotten to know them. And it doesn't mean that that person would have made you happy. That means that that energetic signature was for you at that point in your life. I want you guys to, don't you go to him and then he makes you miserable, come to me and say, Mona, you told me to be with him. That's not what I'm saying. I hope you guys are understanding the esoteric meaning of what I'm trying to say. That was a person that was really relevant for them to be in your life and for their energy to intertwine with yours. It's something unresolved, something left up in the air, okay? We talked a lot about dreams yesterday. And if you watch my live from yesterday, which is on YouTube, I also talk about why we're having meaningless dreams and how we can dream more lucidly and more coherently so that we remember the next day. All right, let me have a sip of water and I'll go back to the next. Okay, somebody says, and maybe a lot of people are in this situation. Somebody says, I have been doing everything one could possibly do for months, and my 3D reality is not shifting. What am I missing? And this is a comment on my video, so I don't think it's somebody who's doing our work. So Queen, I would suggest try to do the challenge and try to ride on the group energy that we've created here. Okay, try not to do this alone. I have no clue, like without knowing you, why nothing is shifting. But I think everybody who's doing the work, who's watching at least my videos and doing the work has seen some shifts. And the reason why we're having a weekly challenge is to prove to everybody that you can attract things in your life. Now, when we attract things in our life, we have we have no sort of like want for the outcome, or we don't really care about the outcome, right? So all of our challenges, see a horse, see a turtle, it doesn't really matter if you see it or not, right? So when you see that you can do those in your mind, you have to program your mind that it's the same with everything else. Like, why is it that you would see a horse and a turtle and flamingos and get the keys and everything happens to you within the time span of 2 weeks? But you couldn't manifest something that you wrote down. It doesn't make sense. You got to convince your brain that it doesn't make sense. And I think it will help you if you align with sort of some manifestations that have nothing to do with you intending them, right? We're dictating that and we're telling you what you're going to see. And when you see it, I really believe this increases confidence in your own manifestation skills. All right. So I've done a video, I think over the weekend, on to remove emotional destabilizers from your life, right? So this goes back to what we talked about the vision, which is here, your third eye, aligning with the speech, what you speak, the way you speak, okay? And aligning with the feeling in your heart. And what I said to you guys is you got to remove from your life anything that is not that. Usually people have no problem seeing an image in your mind. And if you can control your speech, this too can be in alignment fairly quickly. But what happens is someone in our 3D can easily trigger us. And I said, if somebody's triggering you, okay, your job is sort of to distance yourself from those people, from those circumstances as much as you can. And I understand we can't remove ourselves from every circumstance, but most people have too many emotional destabilizers in their lives that they can actually detach from. They just choose not to. They just choose not to speak up. They just choose that situation without even knowing. Sometimes they're like, oh, but she's been my best friend since grade 5, so I have to listen to all her sad stories. Okay. But then you're keeping her in status quo and you're keeping yourself in status quo. And that's it. So this queen says, can you explain more how to do this? When I want my SP, but he's triggering and he's destabilizing me when he reaches out with hot and cold breadcrumbs. Okay, I think everybody who's been watching me, this is a comment on my video, so maybe this queen doesn't really know me. But basically, what I always say is never accept anything that's not your exact manifestation. This is why even when we do our weekly challenges, I'm not going to take an image of the horse if I told you to manifest a horse in real life, right? You're not going to take breadcrumbs, right? If he destabilizes you while you're doing this work on yourself, why are you looking at his message? Why is he not on block, right? There's no point doing this work, learning, shifting, meditating, doing your journaling, and then, you know, he reaches out, or you see his picture on Instagram and he's with another girl at some club, or he says, hey, you want to hook up, when you actually want him to say, hey, will you marry me, right? That hurts. It hurts. And what that pain does, what the stabilizer does, it nullifies all your work. In fact, 1 second of reading a message like this can nullify weeks of work. You guys know that? You must know that. You must have been in that situation where you worked and one fight with your mother, one call with your best friend who's always very negative, one text from your XP, or he doesn't text you, right? This is why you should have him on block. So you don't know when he texts you. You don't know if he doesn't text you. It's best when you're doing the work on yourself. Give yourself the gift of 60 days for yourself, right? Somebody's asking me any tips to manifest weight loss. Go through my list of manifest body. It's grouped at the top of my bio. I've actually set my weight to an exact weight, and I've put proof of that many times throughout the last year and a bit. And I will do something more in details on the concept of it, because somebody else sent me an email about it. And I think I haven't talked about the body in a while. I just want to get through these topics. But I do have videos on the body and weight loss and how to work with the energy of your body for that. Somebody says, used to happen a lot, not now so much. They're talking about the destabilizers. All is well. Look, you got to decide who you are, irrespective of the circumstances. One of the premises that I outline in the 60-day challenge is circumstances do not matter. Do not give people power over you. Whoever that is, do not give people power over you, right? You are who you are. The peace that you achieve inside, it's not easy to achieve peace in our current 3D world. So if you're working on yourself, if you're achieving peace, only to have this peace at risk every time you look at your SP stories on Insta, every time your mother calls, every time, do you see what I mean? Like, you can't give permission for anyone to take something from you. And that's a decision. It's like, if somebody reacts, first of all, remove everything from your life that you know you're going to react to. So if you're not with your SP right now and you know he's seeing a third party, block him and block her. You don't look at their 3D. Do not accept the current version. With your attention, you're keeping in place the version of them that exists right now. And that version of them is together, right? So do not observe it. My SP called me my BFF and went on vacation with his ex today. And the new one I'm dating is off too. Okay, I want you to block these people, both your SP and your the one you're dating right now, and focus just on you for the next 60 days, right? So you see what happens here is women are waiting for these guys to do something in order for these women, for them to feel good, right? If I wake up and I don't know if I'm gonna feel good, I have no idea, because I don't know if my SP texted me. I don't know if, you know, my SP is on vacation or not. I need to open his Instagram first to see how I'm going to feel today. Do you see that all your power in that moment is gone? Like, you can't manifest anything from that point because your power is not with you. Get it? It's not with you. It's not with you at all. You have to decide when you open your eyes or just before you open your eyes. I actually have 2 personal affirmations that I say to myself before I open my eyes. If you're doing the challenge with me, you can pick any of the pre-populated affirmations, say it to yourself, and then just decide today is going to be a great day. Okay, my alarm actually says today is a day for winning. And when I say winning, I don't even mean the lottery. I mean like it's a day for winning everything, for just being a winner. And it's a great reminder when I look at my phone. It's a day for winning. It's my day. Another day to me. Get it? I'll deal with everything that arises, knowing that today is a day for winning. And I want you guys to be in anything that takes you away from this thought needs to be blocked and removed, right? Obviously, you can't remove. Somebody said, what if I have teenagers? Yeah, well, then you have to endure. I'm sorry. But so you can't block your teenagers, okay? And probably maybe you can't block your boss, right? But every loose end, like the guy you're dating is not returning to you what you need. Why are you dating him? Why are you dating him? Why are you giving him the gift of you? For what reason? Doesn't make any sense to me, right? If you're gonna be with a man, he needs to give you what you need. And that's different for every woman. I understand that. But if he's not giving you what you need, what do you need him for? Why? I'm trying to understand, right? Why somebody would get to the point where they're accepting breadcrumbs. Okay, let's see. What to do if a person you are interested in is not showing up how you want, but you see them weekly? Do not, I'm assuming you have to see them weekly, because if you don't have to see them weekly, don't see them weekly. But if they're not showing up, you have to ignore the version of them that's not showing up the way you want them. And you need to bring this work back to you. Watch all my videos on the SP, especially the ones I did today from yesterday live. Somebody says, is it normal for a lot of limiting beliefs to come up during the challenge? 100%. I have people who write to me, and I've done videos on this before. Beliefs that they didn't know they had are coming back to them, or are coming to them, right? And they're like, I have to restart the challenge. Somebody said, and I did a video about it. It was very sensitive, but somebody said, I remember my mom calling me, some bad word because I was, I decided to start my sex life at 18, and my mom called me about, and I just, ever since then, that's how I saw myself. And, it just came to me while I was writing these things out about how valuable I am and stuff. Her words rang in my ear. And, it was just, this is the thing. We don't know what beliefs are holding us back. We think we know everything and remember everything, but we don't. And the beauty of doing this work on a daily basis is that everything that's not aligned with it, everything that's the opposite inside your mind will pop up, because it will be like, what do you mean you're valuable and attractive? Here's a scenario where it's proven you weren't. Here's a scenario where you're not at all valuable or wanted at all. You were rejected this time, and this other time, and this other time. And I'll show you in a dream how you're rejected as well. You get it? And you're going to persist. You're like, that was a different person. I am highly wanted and valuable from this day forward. Why? Because I just decided I am. Because I get my free choice. It's my right. It's my right being God's creation. Right? He gave me this right when he created me. I choose who I am. I feel people are shifting from super clingy to off all the time on a weekly basis. What is wrong? You worry too much about the people and not about you. You're not even supposed to notice. You're supposed to notice the other people less and less when you're doing the work on yourself, honestly. And then Carla says that she's feeling more tired, sometimes sleepy, since she's doing the challenge. Yeah, it's normal, of course. You're exerting a lot of energy. It depends how far you are from whatever you're writing down. It takes a significant amount of energy to achieve a shift, an energetic shift. And I told you guys there's physical things that contribute, right? Like what you eat, like who you interact with. All of this are energy robbers on a day-to-day, right? Okay, so somebody's left a question on one of my videos. And I said, my video is called How You Maintain Your Manifestation. And she says, I'd love to hear your views on alcohol. Does it affect manifesting? And do you drink? So I drink mojitos, I would say 3 to 4 times a week. And by mojitos, I mean, if you guys know what a mojito is, it's like a glass of water with milk and mineral water with mint and lime, and I put half a shot of rum, like pure alcohol, okay, not cheap stuff, like $70 a bottle, right? And the reason I'm explaining all this is just so you understand that different level of alcohol have different energetic effect on our body. But the reason I drink that is because I love the taste of it, that mint and lime with a little bit of rum. It tastes like, the rum to me tastes like, you know, the cookies I used to eat when I was a child. And I think it's like an association, and it's very good. I don't drink wine, I don't drink tequilas, I don't drink anything other than this mojitos. And that's because I love it. Now, do I believe that no alcohol? I think like if you're gonna have a fast day, no alcohol makes sense. But I don't believe in anything that it's, you know, sort of taken to extremes. I don't believe in anything fanatical, in anything fundamentalist, in any of these things, right? So if your body is craving the smell of a little bit of rum, right? Because what I think is you have to be in absolute control of your body. If you can't drink a glass of wine without drinking 8 more glasses of wine, then it's a real issue. It's not an alcohol drinking issue. It's an issue with the control that you have on your body. So if you feel like you're drinking too much and you don't know why you're drinking too much, you're not ready for manifestation, because you can't even control your body, the actions of your body. I'm sorry, like I don't mean to be rude or judgmental. What I mean to tell you is where you're at on this path. Now, if you completely deny yourself all alcohol for reasons such as, it's still like a sort of a self-control issue. Because if you think about it, having a sip of alcohol is not going to affect anything except your ability to not have another sip and another sip and another sip. I hope you catch my meaning here. And you don't take it the wrong way. All right. My phone keeps locking every time I read. I hope I clarified on alcohol. Okay, so somebody says, I appreciate you and your valuable time, so I'll keep my question brief. The thing I would like to change about myself is clinging to outcomes. Can you please tell me or share in one of your lives how to not be so connected to an outcome? It's tricky because when I think of the outcome, that is the thing that gives me the state of feeling that I have, and it makes me happy. But unfortunately, I'm always envisioning myself with my SP and not just some person that gives me the feeling that I want. So to this queen, I'm going to say this, and I know she's very caught up with the group and my videos, and you know, the thing is, if you place all your happiness on the outcome with this particular SP, and you cannot envision yourself feeling happy without him, what happens if he passes away tomorrow? Does that mean you're no longer giving yourself permission to ever see yourself in a happy romantic scenario ever again? Right? So I have a video in which I said, do not objectify your SP. He's not an object that you need to possess. So what you need to stay focused on in your SP work is the outcome without a specific person. Really, it's the outcome of you being in whatever the SP is giving you. So let's say the SP is giving you great joy, excitement, great physical pleasure, and you know, you can see a future with him based on how you feel with him. Well, okay, just be in that future where you're joyous and excited, and in your physical great energy, and don't put a face on that person, right? What happens if that person no longer exists tomorrow? That's the only problem with envisioning a specific person all the time. I didn't do any of my SP work focusing on a specific person. Now, I ended up with my SP because my gravitational field removed the limiting belief that I had, and therefore attracted, in my opinion, a new version of him. But I wasn't trying to manifest a new version of him. I was just manifesting me having that which I want. That's sort of a new angle on the SP for this queen. Somebody says, I need new clothes, new energy. If I want to go on a shopping spree, do I ask for money to go shopping? Somebody in our group posted that she wanted to enroll in a course. And let me see, maybe I took a screenshot. Oh, here it is. Yesterday, I asked for an amount to pay for the course and the hotel. Today, I found my account increased to the same value of the hotel and the course. Then I got excited asking to pay here and pay there and pay there. I felt that the universe responds to me quickly, knowing that today is only the third day of my 60-day challenge. Okay, so in her second day, she asked, she was done with like trying to manifest this course in the hotel, and she just said, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, right? That's sort of the thought process behind it. But somehow this money for me to do the course and the hotel will just be there for me. And it was, right? So I want you to do it from this perspective. The perspective is you don't know the how. Most people can manifest because on some level, they're very attached to the how. Like if I tell you, manifest going to Europe next month, you're like, how am I going to get that $4,000? Right? Manifest, what contest do I need to enter to maybe win a free trip? Where do I have to look? Who do I know? Maybe on Facebook, someone from Europe where I can stay. And your mind just goes that way automatically. It's trying to figure out the how. Our brain is trained to find solutions. The moment you catch yourself trying to find a solution for that which it is you want, you've already lost. You've already put sort of the brakes, or you're crippling the universe's ways in which it can bring that to you. Okay, so this letting go is paramount. Okay, just catch yourself trying to find a solution, and they're like, damn, I gotta start all over again now, because you do. Okay, you really do. I've reclarified directions of my 60-day challenge because I know some people are asking me the instructions, and it's in the link in my bio. Like, you don't, if you've already bought it, you don't have to buy it again. It will, like, the instructions are more clarified now. You have to do the entries once a day, every day. Read the premises. Do not do the entries in advance, because every day, the idea is every day the universe will prompt you differently. Okay, where was I with these questions? This is hard to read because I took a picture. I can't read this. I took a picture of my screen. That's what I said. Okay, sorry, I can't read this. Am I gonna go to the next one? Okay, so I got a question from a queen saying she's doing the challenge, she's feeling great, she's seen a lot of movement in 3D, but what she has a problem with is her husband. She says she's been married, let's say, close to 30 years. Okay, and then she say, for the last 10 years, I just coexist with my husband. So basically, we barely talk to each other. We don't talk to each other, even though we sleep in the same bed. It's really like, I'm not really sure, because I do feel inside myself that my whole energy has changed and I'm different and people react differently to me, but nothing in his attitude has changed or in our relationship has changed. And she's asking me, what do you think it is? So I'm telling her, and maybe other people are in this situation where they're feeling the shift, but people in their lives are not changing. So I tell her, what I think is this: does your vision of the future include him? Do you tolerate him now because you have no choice? But if you did, he would be gone? It doesn't seem you want to change him. It is not true that everyone is us pushed out. Well, it is not true in the literal sense. As in, if they don't treat us like queens, that means that we hate ourselves. So that is not true. It only means that your existing structure reflects the person who created the structure, which is you back then. As you change, you won't be able to make everyone else change, and you won't be able to take everyone with you on this future ride. Remember that. Okay, I want you guys to be clear. The version of the people that exist in your lives are the version that you created when you started with them, right? When you started with them, you created this version of them, and they're sustained by all your past energies. We talked about how thought forms can never be deleted. Now, when you change, it will take way too much energy to change everyone around you. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, even if you're religious, if you know Jesus could manifest many miracles, but he couldn't make an energetic shift for all the people around him, right? There's a massive element of free choice there involved. You don't have the energy to take everyone with you on this ride. This is why I tell you, don't be afraid of breakups. If you haven't spoken to your husband for 10 years, so I'm assuming nothing's happened physically, but you're manifesting yourself, you're seeing a difference in 3D, you're seeing a change in your circumstances, then just assume he's not along for this next part of your life and of your ride. And maybe that's okay. You know what I mean? Like you diverting energy from changing your life and yourself and being seen differently. You can't divert that energy into changing him. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not, the cost benefit analysis doesn't make sense. Somebody's saying, yes, my friends are no longer in my present anymore. Some of them disappeared. Yeah. A lot of your friendships will dissolve. Actually, when we first started this work, I got more testimonials from people who said, my God, my 20-year friendship with my best friend just dissolved. I just saw it in a different light. Like I'm sorry, this is going to be a hard transition, but I had to let her go. And I got like 3 or 4 of those testimonials from women about other women they used to be very close to. So, this is completely normal. Do not be afraid of change. You cannot manifest a complete like lottery wins and, husbands and a travel and a complete different life. If you want to keep the existing and expect the existing structures, what do you expect these friends to do? These friends that you talk to about how men suck and how, being single is where it's at. And, what do you expect is going to happen to those friendships when you meet the love of your life? Because you're secretly manifesting, the love of your life where you're having this conversation, You're not going to be able to maintain this. You can't, right? It's not healthy. Like your mind is like, it will split. It will you can't listen to anything that's not aligned with what you're trying to manifest, right? Especially those thoughts have been there for a while. So they're much more inside your paradigm than your new thoughts. So then don't bother planting these new seeds if you don't want anything to change and people to stay the same. If you want to sleep with your husband 10 more years in the same bed without talking, yeah. All right. Lottery wins from our group. She's like, I ended up winning $500. We have a lot of lottery wins in this group, if you guys don't know. I ended up winning $550 altogether, not counting the 100 I used to play with. And she posted it in the group. We have a lot of lottery wins in this group because, I'm fond of the lottery. I never lose money in the lottery. Like sometimes I don't win, but I win like 9 out of 10 times. And when I win, it's like more than offsets the times that I don't win. So I do an affirmation at the end of every live. I am a winner, 369. I've been doing that for many years and I always win. I haven't fine-tuned it to, yet winning, $50 million. But look, we're all ahead. We're all ahead. And I told people not to post anything that's under like $100 because everybody's winning like $20, $40, $50. But this was $550. So I like that. This queen who got engaged. And we have a lot of success stories. I just like to share them because I need you guys to understand that the group energy is going a certain direction. And if you don't want to get caught up in this direction, then, you know, even listening to my videos will make a difference. So if you see your life changing or what have you, it's this group energy thing is real. Let's see what else. Oh, let's talk about revision. I got an email from a queen, and she's saying she's trying to do revision as per my instructions. If you guys don't know what revision is, it's when you go to bed at night, if you didn't like your day, you are going to go through every event of the day, but whatever it is you didn't like happen, you will change it. So you'll see the day exactly as it unfolded, but change the 2 or 3 elements that you didn't like. You know, I didn't like that it rained today, so, you know, I imagined, but that's not a good example, right? It's mostly your interaction with people, or, you know, getting an unexpected bill or something breaking in the house that people want to revise. That is what is called revision. So you're going to live the same day, because you have to tell the universe that it's the same day. It's not some day in the future. It's the same day, adjusted. So she's saying, I've done this and there's resistance in me. Either my mind wanders or I fall asleep before I'm done. I will keep going though, but it did seem to work last night. Yesterday, my youngest son refused to go to the football camp he originally wanted to go, and so only my eldest went. So I revised the day by dropping them both off and then both having a wonderful time. And today, that's what happened. And then she's saying, I'm remembering so much more of my dreams now that I'm actually recording them, which is part of our challenge. It surprises me how much I actually dream. I have a lot of work on myself I have done a lot of work over the last decade on myself, but the way you are teaching is really hitting home, and I love the accountability and the worksheet and the group to keep me on track. So, and then she's saying something else that's important. As I type and I am at the football game, I just spotted one of the kids wearing red shoes. So the red shoes was one of our group manifestations. The fact that she spotted it while the day played out in her preferred revised version of the day is significant, right? Because it's telling her you've done something that's the result of energy work, and here's the confirmation for you. So that's another thing that our weekly challenges are doing for people. They're actually helping them understand, oh, you know, I see this and it's significant to what just happened to me. So it's part of the work that I'm doing. It's confirmation of the work, and the universe will give you confirmation of your work over and over if you're doing it right. All right, let's move on to the next. I only have a couple more, I think. All right, today I've done a video on the energetic creation of the perfect man. It was actually from yesterday's live, and it was somebody who manifested love. Let's say you don't have an SP, you're just manifesting love in general with a list. And she was saying, I manifested love with a list. I got 97% of the list, but the 3%, she manifested everything on the list, but it's 97% of what she wanted, and the 3% is a deal breaker. And I told her I did the same thing. And then people started to put comments on this saying how they did the same thing and what happened. So a queen said, I've done the same thing. I got 100% of the items I put for the man, and he was in love with me, but I was missing the connection. I was missing the feeling. I guess it didn't occur to me to say, I am madly in love with this man or something. And then another queen says, I didn't put him living near me. So I found him in Brazil. I live in Portugal, and that's the only thing that is wrong with him. So yeah, guys, to my point, do not manifest with a list about his traits, because you'll find him in a different country, or you'll find him but you won't be attracted to him, or you'll find him and do you know what I mean? You can't possibly think of every item on the list. Watch the video because I tell you how to do it. That is different from this list method. I don't believe in this list method. When it failed for me, I was pretty disappointed, and it's hard to let go of a manifestation of a list that you've made and to be like, if only it was good enough. But that's what I put there. Should I restart? Never again will I do a list, never. Not about people, maybe about a job or about a car or about, but never about a person. There's too many ways it can go wrong if you make a list about a person. Finally, one final email, and then I'll take some questions. I have improved my self-concept very well I have been affirming only for myself, and I felt a huge shift, says this queen, without any external movement yet, but I am feeling very fulfilled. A couple of days ago, an SP texted me after ghosting me for 3 months. So she's doing this work, she's feeling great, she's single, and an SP texts her all of a sudden after ghosting her for 3 months. But he's texting, I don't mean to ghost you, but I'm focused on a lot of things and I wish you all the best. She says, I don't really care too much that he kind of rejected me again. I'm just not understanding why my self-concept work is reflecting this outcome. I have felt so good about myself for weeks to the point where I didn't even want any of the SPs, but I wasn't expecting this rejection after all this great self-concept work. I thought maybe it's my sign to make room for something better, but I need your help to make me understand. So this is the last email of the night that I'm going to talk about. So this is very clear, right? This is what we talked about before. So when you're feeling really good and you feel like I really fell into this work right now, I'm feeling great. That's when the universe will give you something. Now, it's not the universe, right? It's one of your limiting beliefs, your subconscious struggling for survival of the old person, right? So it's saying, what do you mean you're feeling great? You've been rejected many times. Oh, you're over that? Let me give you the same rejection all over again. See if you're really over that, right? There's always a test. There's always what you have to do is you have to see. If I got that text while I was doing work on myself, I'd be like, I get it. Yeah, no, I'm afraid I must insist. I am adored, unwanted, and yeah. And I know you're trying to show me, you're trying to stay alive, no. I'm afraid I must insist. I must insist on exactly what let me read it to you once again. I am adored. I am highly wanted. I am everyone's dream. Everyone wants to marry me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I'm gonna insist. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be definitive on this. So you can show me 5 more SPs sending me the same message. It's not gonna insist each time. Get it? Until you bend. Because you have to bend. It's my free will. You have to bend. You have to show me what I'm telling you that you have to show me. Yeah? Yes, you insist. Yeah. I was going to restart the challenge because I thought something was wrong. It is okay to restart the challenge, Queen. A lot of queens are restarting the challenge when a major limiting belief pops up in their experience that they didn't know. They weren't aware. It wasn't part of their, do you know what I mean? And they're like, okay, I understand this now. This was my mother's thoughts, or whether it's about money or loved or how you valued, or it's like this, somehow this idea got in my mind. And now this new version of me is going to start at day 1 because this new version of me is going to have different affirmations. Now, the challenge, okay, it's about achieving the 4 goals that you put at the top of the challenge. And every affirmation in the 60-day challenge has to bring you closer to that goal. So you don't know how to fine-tune your affirmations. The point is, every day you change a little bit more. And so every day you're like, just ask the universe, what is it that I need to affirm and focus on today in order to bring me one more step closer to those 4 goals that I outlined, right? So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling, oh, I have this massive belief, okay, I'm going to restart again. You can ask the universe of the 3-digit code. If you don't know what the 3-digit code is, the video is pinned in my profile on how to use the 3-digit code to talk to the universe. And you take it from there, right? It's absolutely okay to restart. Or I have queens who are like on day 94 of the 60-day challenge. They don't want to stop because, they were slow to see results. But once they see results, they understand that the timing has to do with them. The timing doesn't have to do with me. It has to do, I have success stories before day 10, right? I read some. But it's just, it depends how strong your paradigm is. It depends what existing structures need to crumble before you can move forward to the next step. I want to see if there's any questions, guys. The floor is open. No answers about health problems questions, twin flames questions. I don't know anything about twin flames. I don't do any of that stuff, astrology, tarot, and any of that stuff. The health thing I am going to do under Manifest Body, more on the health element. I'm going to do some videos on it. The twin flames, astrology, things like this. No, the way I think about life partners is you decide what you want in your life. And everything that's in your life is a reflection of what it is that you think about yourself. So, and the decisions that you've made. So if you want to be mega super in love, okay, like a twin flame, I know sort of the concept is that you can't live without each other. And if you want to experience that, you can definitely manifest the person with whom you're experiencing that. Now, be very careful, right? Because you'll get this feeling, but who knows what will be socially wrong with that relationship. So you have to really know what you want at the beginning of the challenge. If you're clarifying what you want as you're going through it, go back and restart the challenge. But don't ask me about tarot, astrology, twin flames, all these concepts that exist out there. Life is a decision, we decide. And when we don't decide, confusing results and random things happen in our lives. You have to be clear, insistent, persistent. This is what I want, right? I want, when I redid the SP from a list to how I want someone to make me feel on a daily basis, and the social structure under which I wanted this, that's exactly what I got. When I was confused about it, and I'm like, oh, people ask me, or people always ask me out, or when do you see what I mean? Like, you have to decide the ultimate goal. This was a lot of work for me. It took me years to get to this point where I'm teaching you these things. So it doesn't have to take you years. Okay, it doesn't have to take you that long of a time if you're just clear about what you want. Why are you focusing on twin flames? Why is that even a question in your mind? I'm gonna turn off this call. I don't take live calls during my lives, guys. What do you mean by social structure? I mean, like, I wanted a man who treats me a certain way in a social structure where I'm married to him, For me, marriage is important, and that's the social structure I require. Why do some people take longer to manifest SP than others? Because of their paradigm inside their mind. What if I want to change one goal? Do I have to restart? This is a good question, right? It depends if that goal is about, this is why I break it down into those 4 categories. I would restart at least the category under the goal that you want to change. But you see, people do want to change their goal because they're becoming more and more clear as the result of this work. Do you think it's easier to manifest things like money over SP? Not money, but it's much easier to manifest because money is a concept, right? Money doesn't really exist. It's a concept in which we exchange value. It's a concept for value. It's a means of exchange. So the SP is hard because of your paradigms about being loved, and it's also about where they're at specifically with their own consciousness. This is why some people are able to have the SP come back 5 times, tell them the exact words they're scripting, only to leave them again, because you can bend somebody's free will for a time with sort of spell-like work. But money is, I'm gonna have you guys think of something, about money. How can the same object cost different things at different times? And I'm not talking 100 years ago versus now. How can a house be 800 grand 2 years ago, but 600 grand now, and maybe 1.2 million 2 years from now, right? What is money? It's really focus on what you would do with that money. Focus on the house. The house, I found it was easy for me to manifest once I was able to really envision exactly what it is I want in a house. For the house, you can make a list because it's an object, it's not a person. For the house, I made a list. It came out to the exact specific things. I said 3 fireplaces. I got 2. I would say it's pretty close. Yeah. So I hope I was clear. So the amount of time it takes has to do with you really removing your limiting beliefs and changing the paradigms inside your mind, which you might not know you have. You might not know. It will come to you though. I stopped manifesting money. I want more travel, and a cousin invited me to travel. Yeah, because you don't need money. It's not real. Just focus on what you want to do with the money. It's very, I linked it to sort of, somebody said, how is it easier to manifest a car but not manifest a specific amount? Well, because the concept of money is like the blueprint of the car. It's extremely difficult for you to manifest the blueprint of the car, right? Isn't it? But it's easy to manifest the car because the car is already created. It already exists. Money doesn't exist. So if you want $1 million because you want to buy a house that's worth $1 million, just focus on that house and it will come. Let's see what else is there. Was there anything else, guys? I just don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring your question. If it's, just keep asking it and I'll get to it. There's always, I'm not really sure what that means. If not, somebody says, I manifested an apartment in the city with forest, pool, trails, bus, school, so magical. Yeah, objects are very easy to manifest. I also manifested the exact car I thought about, the house like I described, many physical objects, including travel experiences. What do I do if I don't know my limiting belief? Keep living in the reality where you have what you want, keep scripting about it, and the limiting belief will come to you. It will either pop in your head, or it will be an aha moment, or it will be in a dream. It's something that's repeating. This is why doing this work is very important. Is it normal for the dreams to become more vivid with manifesting? Absolutely. That's the whole point. So I want you, it's your subconscious. You're getting more and more clear to your subconscious. The subconscious is what detaches and connects with the formless substance when you're in your dream state and communicates your instructions and gets instructions back. So this is why I made a tab on recording dreams. Even if the dream doesn't make sense to you on day 2 or 3, record it. Go back and read what you recorded in day 15, day 30, and see, be like, you'll have an aha moment for sure. The method used to manifest something specific like a house is scripting. Okay, there's 2 steps to every manifestation. We talked about this and I'll repeat it briefly. 1 is being very clear on what you want. It doesn't matter if you imagine it or you script it, or you call your mother every day and you tell her about the new house you got. Okay, if she's willing to listen to your 20 minutes describing of it every day. So scripting is just a method. It's just a method like visualizing. It's just a method. You just have to be very clear and coherent. This is the point. Scripting helps a lot of people. A lot of people are not very good at being coherent. If I say, go to your house, to your new house, and walk through all the rooms and describe the furniture to me, most people need to think about it and write it out, right? Because they can't really see it in their minds. So why don't you script about it? Okay, so that's step 1. Script, visualize. Why don't you script about it? Just so you can get the detail. And number 2, which is paramount, it's not going to come if you're just scripting about it, is you have to let go of the how. You completely have to let go. Okay, when I was describing my house, I couldn't afford the house. And I was like, there's no way I need 10 years to save for it, And I was like, I completely let go of the house. I just stayed in the house. And it's always inspired action. Incoming call, you take the action from the incoming call, you do something else, you do something, you know what I mean? It's not like I didn't get it from a guy or win it in, a raffle or anything like that. It's sort of one step and the next and the next and but it won't take very long. I think it took about a year for me, maybe 14 months, something like that. When I started to get very coherent, because most people are like, yeah, I want a new house. That would be nice. Let me just manifest it. But they're not coherent about living in this house. Should you give a time limit with your manifestation? Well, I always say declare it with a time limit. right? Because the time limit is going to do something in your brain where it's going to look for solutions, but not that kind of solutions. Let go of the how. Don't look for solutions. Be like, you have until December 2024 to have me married in this house exactly as I'm describing. And all I'm going to do between now and then is stay in that feeling. Before I open my eyes, I know my husband's in the kitchen making me pancakes. And I know, as I'm walking towards the room that towards the bathroom, that the bathroom is in my room, right? Let's say you're in an apartment. So you have to see all this in your mind, but it's good to make a declaration and say, this I shall have one time, okay? One time declaration before December 2024. A lot of people have been successful with meeting this kind of timelines, but it has to be believable to your brain, okay? You can't say, I will be married by this time next week, because that's not believable to your brain. How do you stay coherent? This is where the work is. Guys, I told you it's simple, but it's not easy. This isn't easy work. It's not. Working on the mind is the hardest. Guys, why don't you start with a vegan fast tomorrow? We have now come to the end of the live. I do 1 hour. So I think we're a minute over. Start with the vegan fast. See if that's hard. Get to the water fast on August 30th and see if you can do it. If you can't do the water fast, forget about manifesting a house. How are you going to control your thoughts and stay coherent for a long period of time when you can't even not eat for 1 day? Let's think about this. It's the truth. That's why we're doing this. All right. Put your hands together for the 369. I'm a winner, and I want more significant lottery wins. It's me speaking to your subconscious mind. Return to me significant lottery wins. Put your hands together for the 369. If you don't want to participate, this is the end of the live. I'll be back Thursday at the same time. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.